Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It is January 3rd, third day of the new year, 2023, and we are back. We're in another work week. The holidays are over, and now we are going back to work. Some of our children are going back to school. Definitely have to say we thank God for allowing us to see another holiday, another new year. And we are just excited about everything that's going to transpire in this year, 3 days in, and still in a mindset of we are standing in expectation to see what God is going to unfold and reveal this year. Welcome to Chatting with Chantel. This is another episode, new season 5, new season. Welcome all of those that are listening. It's your girl Chantel. For those of you that are listening for the very first time, please make sure you like, share, comment. Let me know where you are listening to this podcast from. We are on Facebook, Instagram. Excerpts are taken and put on TikTok. We have our own YouTube channel that is Chatting with Chantel. Make sure that you hit the subscription box and the notification box so you will know every time there is a new podcast that is uploaded. We are in the third day of the new year, and I am so excited as to what God has for Chatting with Chantel. Also, for those of you that have not gone over to the Facebook page and follow me on my page, Chantel Skinner, which will automatically send you an invite to the Chatterbox, where later on this month we will have live conversations and just conversations concerning either the podcast or things that are going on. Only those that will be in the Chatterbox will be able to access the lives or the impromptu conversation. So make sure you get over there. And you follow me on Chantel Skinner page, and it's at Real Chantel Skinner 1229 on Facebook. Send follow, and it will automatically send you an invitation to the Chatterbox. If not, inbox me and ask to get an invite sent to the Chatterbox, and I'll definitely get it over to you. For those of you that would like to email, please feel free to email me at bookaprilskinner@gmail.com. And it's not strictly for booking. If you just want to have conversations, if you want to just reach out, if you would like to collab, or even if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, let's have some conversations. They will be going live in less than 45 days, so I am excited. Some of the podcasts will be going live, not all of them, but some of them. And I am excited. I'm also just excited about the new year, the new place in my life, spiritually, physically, mentally. Definitely took some much needed time off to kind of just hear from God and tell God some of the things that were on my heart, and to have him respond back to me. But anywho, welcome to the podcast. This is not one of our long podcasts, but it's Tuesday, and what better way to start off our day than reminding ourselves that, hey, we're at the beginning of a new year. Nothing has to be finalized. Nothing has to be etched in stone. Nothing has to be pinned down, signed, sealed, delivered. But what we are doing in the year of 2023, just a reminder, is we are prioritizing in this year. Everything that we're doing is intentional, and we are being purposefully driven. That's been my motto since last year, and I'm taking it along with me in the year 2023, because everything that we do is for a reason. It's for someone. It's for the upbuilding of the kingdom, or it's for our families, our homes, our jobs. Everything that we do is intentional. Everything that we're doing must create a balance in our lives. it must line up with our life so that it makes sense. And so the things that we are beginning to jot down, the things that we're thinking about or thinking about, starting or looking into, and it does not only have to be spiritually, but just in our lives, physically, emotionally, mentally, in our careers, hobbies, whatever you're looking into, it's got to make sense. It can't create an imbalance anywhere in your life, because everything that God does makes sense. Everything that he does is for a reason. Everything is always done in decency and in order. So God will not allow you to lack in one area just so that something else can be fulfilled in this part of your life. So it's got to make sense. None of this year do we put so much time and energy in the things that are not beneficial in some way. Understand, I am not saying that we can't have fun. I'm not saying that we can't live in the moment or even be spontaneous, but let's not lose sight of what we told ourselves and God. Let's not lose sight of the visions that we have. Let's not lose sight of our priorities and the things that we're asking God to do and reveal and open up to us. Let's not lose sight of that. But what we're going to do is we're going to begin to prioritize it, which means it becomes a part of our life, our daily routine, our daily schedule, our daily time that we impart in ourselves or in God or in whatever it is that we're asking God to do. We're prioritizing those things and making them important. First and foremost, our relationship with God has to be prioritized, and it has to be ongoing, growing. It has to be nourished. It has to be, how would you say, it has to be developed. So it's something that is constantly being worked on and it's constantly growing. That's our priority. Next comes, our family, our loved ones, things that pertain to us. I'm prioritizing. I can speak for myself. This year, I'm prioritizing making sure that I take time for me and I don't give until the point where I am exhausted in certain areas of my life because I don't know how to either slow down or say no or just take time to kind of relax and, kind of let my hair down. And it's hard when you're so used to doing so much to unplug and give yourself that time. But that's definitely something I said for myself that I'm prioritizing this year, along with so many other things that I've asked God to do in my life, in my family's life, and spiritually, so many things. But that's one of the things that I can say. I can be vocal. I can be very transparent and say that that's an area that I need to work on, especially when it comes to my marriage, or especially when it comes to making sure that I spend an even amount enough time with, my loved ones, my families, those that I consider my close friends. A lot of what I had to hear is, you're never able to do X, Y, and Z because you're constantly going. Had to hear it from my spouse, had to hear it from my children, and not that they were, scolding me on it, but they were like, hey, we want some of your time too. So definitely that's something that I said I was going to prioritize. You take it and you make it fit. You don't get offended. You don't wear it on your shoulders, but that's part of constructive criticism. And growing up and being all that you can be is making sure that you can accept those things and begin to work on them within yourself. The first step to prioritizing is first you have to admit that prioritizing is going to work for you. And I definitely know that prioritizing works for me. There's some things that I know that I cannot negate or overlook or leave lacking in any area. So yes, I need to prioritize. I got to write it down. I got to see it. I got to have a calendar where I begin to put down times and dates and places and things that I need to do, deadlines, just things that I've began to write out, on the end of last year. for the things that I would like to do into the new year. Like, I'm definitely prioritizing them and making sure that, that I'm not just saying that I'm not just doing, but I'm actually working effortlessly at making sure that those things happen. And even though, we write it down, even though, we say we're going to prioritize this, trust and believe that it's not permanent. So some things may have to change. Some things may have to be placed on the back burner. Some things, hey, we may not even get to in this year. It's not to say that you failed in any area. It's not saying that you didn't do it. It's not saying that you didn't quit. It just did not make sense. Prioritizing, like I said, has to make sense in your life. Everything has a place. Everything has a time, and it has to fit cohesively. Of course, we have to know exactly the order in which God has ordained for us, which is first Him, then family, then our spouses, if you have them, or family, and then everything else comes after that. Of course, when we're looking at ourselves physically, we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We're taking care of our health, our mental, and making sure that there's balance there, as well as making sure that we are doing what we need to do to make ourselves happy. If it does not get done in 2023, guess what? It does not mean that your list, your vision, your goals did not come to pass. It's because you're being so thorough in those areas that, hey, guess what? We didn't get to this now, but guess what? It goes to the top of our list when we follow over into the next year. We're constantly working and improving on ourselves. So the things that are on your list, the things that are on your list this year may not be on your list next year. You won't have as many. So the things that maybe you don't reach or you don't get to work as much on will be at the top of your list, and you'll be able to work closely with those things, and they'll be a priority at that time in your life. Like I said, I can't stress enough. Prioritizing means that it has to make sense. Don't feel bad if even if you don't have everything written down yet. A lot of us write lists and write goals and write visions as we go throughout the year. It changes. As we change, our goals and our visions change. That's okay. Change is good. One of the things that we have to learn how to do is embrace change, accept change, and know that because of this change, it doesn't mean that you're lacking in an area, that you failed in an area. It just means that we're having to move some things around so that you can thrive in an area. And whatever the case may be, whenever you begin this list of prioritizing or, making sure that everything is going forth, like you said in the beginning of the year, whatever the case may be, just make sure that you write it down. Make sure you're journaling. Make sure that you're taking those thoughts and you're beginning to put them in the right places, or you're continuing to encourage yourself and pat yourself on the back and push yourself. You got this. It may be hard. You may have cried. You may be sweating, and you may have struggled in this area, but it does not mean that you can't do it. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, and God will not give you anything that you cannot bear. So just think about it when you're prioritizing. I can do this. I just have to keep my eyes on God, stay focused, and then things will begin to line up as you see fit. Don't forget. And this is just, something to take along as we're beginning our work week, as we're walking into this new year, and we're wanting to do things differently, and we want to remain organized, and we want to do and start so many different projects in our lives. Write it, read it, and work it. Those are the three things that I said I was going to make sure that I reiterate to myself. Write it down so that you don't forget. Be able to break down every entity of whatever that thing is. Read it. Go back over, read it. Make sure it makes sense to you. If somebody else was to come in and critique, or you're sharing this idea or this vision with someone, make sure it's understood that you're not missing something. There's no loopholes, or you're not taking the wrong perspective at something, and then you work it. First of all, you give it to God, you pray, and you ask Him to have His hand in it. And then whatever it takes for you to get done what God has called you to do, what God has placed you on this earth to do, what God has given you the talents and the gifts and the education to do, and you begin to work it, and you let your work speak for you. Because at the end of the day, when that time comes, you can give all glory to God that, guess what? Without God, I can do nothing. Without God, I was not going to fail, and that God had His hand upon my life all the time. This is just a short encouragement on this Tuesday. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful work day, a wonderful work week. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Make sure that you are unplugging and taking care of your mental. Don't forget that prayer is everything. Prayer is key. Start your day with prayer, end your day with prayer, throughout the day. When you find those times where you just need to hear something sound, listen to the sound of Jesus and watch how your life will begin to it'll just begin to go easier. You'll find that peace that surpasses all understanding. Write it, read it, work it. Everybody have a blessed day. Happy New Year to everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. It's your girl Chantel, and this is just our moment on Tuesday that I'm sharing with you thoughts for Tuesday. Love you all. Bye.